On the 5th of August 2021, Lionel Messi left Barcelona, and with that, the Blaugrana lost their biggest supplier of goals and assists. Of course, it would be impossible to replace Messi with just one player, and to have a good season, Barcelona would have to be better collectively. They still needed good attackers to supply the goals though, so they signed Memphis from Lyon and Sergio Aguero from Manchester City, both on a free transfer. A couple of months into the season, Aguero had to quit football due to heart issues, and Memphis did make a difference sometimes, but he had games where he wasn't sharp enough as well. Apart from the two new players, they had average players like Braithwaite and players with injury problems like Ansu Fati. Even someone like Luc de Jong was signed from Sevilla, but even though he's an average player, you gotta give credit where it's due and say he was valuable for a team last season with some last minute goals that gained them important points in La Liga. Scoring goals proved to be one of the team's main problems. That's why in the January transfer window, Xavi, who had replaced Koeman as manager in November, wanted more options for the forward line. So, of course, they signed two new players, Ferran Torres and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Ferran Torres, a young talented attacker who can play in all three of the forward positions, definitely showed promising signs when Xavi put him on the field. But in his first few months at the club, it became clear that he still needed to work on his finishing. He messed up too many big chances and was also criticized for this. The best example of this was the first leg at the Camp Nou of the Europa League game between Barcelona and Napoli. The game ended in a 1-1 draw, which was a shame for the Blaugrana since they had dominated the whole game and had 21 shots compared to Napoli's 4. Through a penalty kick, Ferran Torres scored the only goal of the game, but there were a couple of other big chances that he missed and he should have left that game with a hat-trick. Then there was Aubameyang too, of course. He definitely made an impact and was regularly on the score sheet in his first few months. Just like with Memphis, he also had games where he didn't do a lot and that you didn't even know he was on the field for the first 30 minutes. In some difficult games, Barcelona still lacked someone who could make the difference. Ousmane Dembélé could torture defenders for an entire 90 minutes, but his finishing has never been on the level that Barca needed. So, conclusion, they needed someone who could replace Messi goal-wise and make sure all of the chances ended up in the back of the net. Because creating chances wasn't the problem anymore, with creative midfielders like Pedri and good wingers like Ousmane Dembélé. And out of all the strikers in the world, there was one who, despite him not being the youngest player out there, ticked all of the boxes: Robert Lewandowski. After a lot of rumors and a difficult relationship between the player and his old club Bayern Munich, he finally arrived at Barcelona. The Polish striker is 33 years old at the moment, and though that might seem quite old, he surely has the ability to stay one of the world's best strikers for 2 to 4 more years. Looking at other players above 30 like Benzema, Modric and Ibrahimovic, I would definitely consider Lewandowski a world-class striker for a couple more years. With him, all the chances will end up in the back of the net, so there's nothing preventing Barcelona from becoming a goal-scoring machine like in the good old days. Even the supply has become better than last year, with creative midfield in the first place. I actually made a separate video in which I discuss Barcelona's midfield, so you can go and watch it if you want. But apart from the midfield, there's also a lot of depth and quality on the wing positions. Ousmane Dembélé, Ansu Fati, new signing Rafinha and Ferran Torres are all great and still quite young wingers. Dembélé and Lewandowski is a partnership that I especially look forward to, since it's got the ingredients to be absolutely deadly. A fast winger who can dribble and use both feet to deliver a cross, and one of the world's best strikers who is prolific at positioning and finishing crosses. In general, Barcelona's attack this season looks stacked with options, with a lot of players who are able to thrive in different positions as well. Even Aubameyang and Memphis are still at the club right now, although they might both leave the club this summer. But without Lewandowski, we will probably keep seeing the same problems. Apart from him, there's Aubameyang, who is a great striker but not clinical enough to provide the goals that a team like Barcelona needs. The other players are all great, but their finishing isn't top-notch either. Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati might have world-class finishing one day, but they still need a little time to develop their game. Surely Ansu Fati might become a prolific goalscorer and he has shown great finishing abilities already. It's just difficult to tell whether he's ever going to be a Ballon d'Or level player because of all the injuries he's had. That's why it's so important that Xavi has now got one of the best strikers out there right now on his hands. If the Blaugrana want to win trophies this season, Lewandowski is the exact player they needed. I definitely feel like Barcelona have got the best possible attack they could have had at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see how well they'll do this season. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and tell me in the comments how many goals you think Lewandowski will score this season in La Liga. Força Barça and have a good day.